Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Doreen Lukanda from Beyonic. It's a pleasure to have you on this journey. Sorry, let me just. So Beyonic is a digital payments vendor-neutral, sector-agnostic platform that has been designed specifically to provide businesses across Africa with an alternative to cash payments, thereby providing them with a cheaper, with a more secure and more sustainable solution to the challenges they face in using cash as a tool of trade. When we speak about sector agnostic, we are thinking about a number of different players in the NGO space, in the FinTech space, in the ride-hailing space. So pretty much businesses of any size and any profile fit within this category and are able to access our platform for services. Ultimately, what we are doing is providing them with a toolbox that allows them to one, efficiently manage their businesses, but also reach their customers at the last mile, whether that be by USSD for feature phones or by app for other services. The challenges that we are trying to address range. People are struggling with money being stolen. People are struggling with the kind of tools that their customers have to use. People are struggling with the cost of cash in transit. People are struggling with network connectivity. People are struggling with the challenges of having to integrate with each telecom across each market that they would like to access. And what we do is bring all these different pieces together and provide them with an adequate solution, thereby being not just an aggregator, but a one-stop center for all their digital needs. How we are doing this is primarily we are based in 9 countries in Africa, and through a single portal, they're able to access all these different services using one float, which means if they deposit $100 onto their Beyonic account, that $100 will serve them for all the services they need. This will include payment of mobile money, collections of mobile money, sending out airtime, and other services. Through the same access, you're able to access the multiple networks that we are partnered with, which are over 25, and over 25 bank services. So it basically makes it easier for these customers to scale, and for us, the customer is the SME. It basically makes it easier for them to scale and to manage their businesses remotely. The other strong advantage that we bring to the table is the fact that with a lot of these businesses, you're dealing with people you do not know, especially in an environment where KYC is a challenge. We provide them with the backup of an automated confirmation or account detection, which is basically checking against the telecoms database to ensure that whoever you are sending money to or collecting money from is actually somebody who is registered. In the event that this is somebody who, let's say in the case where women may not necessarily have KYC, the organization has the alternative to override that. But we give them the option and the decision in their hands to decide how they would want to go about managing that. This is just to showcase some of the telecom services that we already integrated within the respective markets. And then this is also to give you a sense of the banking partners that we have available on the platform. So Beyonic is offering a range of solutions to these customers. We're offering you payment tools. We're offering you web tools that can connect to third-party applications like POS machines or USSD options or biometric scanners. We offer you the infrastructure, which means that you don't necessarily have to be registered in every market that you need to enter or explore. We basically take care of that for you because we have contracts with the different telco partners. We give you analytics for your businesses so that you have a better sense of what is going on, especially at a senior management level. We have closed loop options for example, refugee camps where it's just specifically money for a specific purpose. We give you more information about identity. Who exactly are you dealing with? Who are you paying? Who are you receiving money from? We have a credit option and we give you a single wallet. So ultimately, these are a range of services that we offer. Customers can opt to use all the different services or just pick one of them. What makes us unique in terms of our offering, of course, is the access, the fact that you have access to all these different mobile money networks, telco services, and bank services. You have control over your transactions. There's two-factor authentication. There are a range of rules that allow you to actually mimic your existing financial workflows without distorting that, but still keeping your funds and your business secure. We offer you a range of pricing, not just pay as you go that is typically known in this industry, but also a subscription model. So you have different options based on where your business is at that point in time, and options to scale and switch. And again, we provide you with as much data as you would need. Again, this data is used for credit scoring facilities, for gender-specific projects, to mention but a few. This is just to give you a sense of how the products work on our platform. Ultimately, we give our clients access to a web page where they log in, again, two-factor authentication. They're able to effect payments, that is your B2B or B2C. They're able to collect payments for e-commerce services, that is your C2B. And then there are other options if you would like to aggregate with third-party services. All this is backed up by reports that are real-time and used for reconciliation and other data analytics requirements. This is just to give you a sense of what the portal looks like so that you have a feel of it. And I will just run through these, but just so that you can see exactly what I am speaking about. Okay, so just to give you some examples of some of the third-party platforms that we connect with, ultimately, I think one of the things that's important to note is we see ourselves as a collaborator, as the point that you can come to if you want to speak to as many networks, as many platforms as you would like. It's not to say that we have everything available here, but it's to say that we have quite a bit, and depending on your need, we would actually figure out a way to make that happen, again, based on collaboration within the industry. One of those collaborations is our recent merger with MFS Africa. MFS Africa is one of the biggest hubs in Africa that's connecting over 37 countries across Africa and partially across the globe. So this definitely increases our market presence, which was one of the goals, which means that increases Beyonic's offering from 9 to the said 37. But it also means that domestic partners in each of the 9 countries, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, would be able to tap into a remittance product through the same wallet, through the same account. They would actually be able to extend their services beyond borders at an affordable and safe cost. The other strong partnership that came up very recently is Beyonic taking on the IPN Hub from the GSMA. This is really to tell a story about a different sector of the SME business, that is your pay-g utility providers. Pay-g utility providers are one of the most underserved markets because the appetite for the offering, for the services that they offer is not yet quite understood, especially by telcos. If you're too small, the telco will not have appetite for you. So having been awarded this by the GSMA means that we're actually able to use this network that we have built to further extend services to pay-go providers who are then able to extend them to last mile customers. So you're talking about markets like rural Malawi, rural Rwanda, rural Uganda, and therefore it's a very flexible solution with 24-hour support and almost a 99% uptime. But I think one of the most important things is that this is a quick and easy access for pay-as-you-go utility providers, but more importantly, affordable. So this is pretty much the offering, the value proposition to pay-as-you-go providers. It's reducing their route to market. It's catering for all the networks that they would need to serve more customers at that level. And it's providing them with real-time information to actually ensure that they're able to support the customers that they serve. This is just to give you a glance at the different pricing options that we provide. We have something for the pay-as-you-go providers. We have a pay-as-you-go for collection partners and payments partners across Africa. And then we have premium bundles for those who would prefer the subscription model. Again, each of these pricing packages are all available. One could decide to change between one or the other within a space of 3 months or 6 months or whatever may be required. But ultimately, we want to make sure that all the SMEs within the market have something that suits their business. This is just to give you, again, a bigger sense of the kind of clients that we support beyond the 3 that I had shared initially. So again, sector agnostic, and our goal is to make sure that for each of these use cases, we actually are giving them their needs, which ultimately is affordability, security, sustainability, and reports, information, data is very important for each of these sectors. These are just some testimonials about people who have used the service to date. But before I spend too much time on that, I did want to share some insights about what we did going through this COVID season. One of the things that we did was we reduced our costs further because we noticed that cost is a barrier to financial inclusion, especially for SMEs. And that gave us an opportunity to get a sense of what's in the market. And as soon as we reduced the costs, we noticed that there was a huge demand for domestic businesses to go digital. So this gives you a sense of some of the trends that we noticed and have continued to see on the Beyonic platform. We had an increase of about 100% in sales alone, meaning that people were signing up pretty quickly during that period and have continued to do so. And again, supporting people who are providing essential services across the different spaces, all the way from agriculture to microcredit. So I will, in terms of testimonial, I wanted you to hear it from one of our customers. Thank you very much. That's it from me. I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you so much, Doreen, for that exciting presentation. At this point, I would like to invite the judges to please go ahead with questions for Doreen. And also a quick reminder to the audience, if you do have questions for Beyonic about what they do and how, any questions you might have, please feel free to type in the chat option. Thank you. So quickly to the judges, Nadezhda, Ernesto, or Leah, if you have questions, please go ahead.
Hello, Doreen.
Hi, Ernesto. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think you have an amazing project with a great solution with all the financial inclusion subject. And I only have a couple of questions about if Beyonic, if any way, contribute to closing the financial inclusion for gender gap.
Okay, so one of the challenges for women in many of these countries is access to collateral to get credit for their businesses and access to KYC to actually set up or register these businesses. So primarily, that is how we have supported them by managing the KYC aspect, the sort of route to entry for them. So it means that a lot of the businesses, we do have male-owned businesses and women-owned businesses, like the one that I showcased just now. And this particular example that I showcased is actually now supporting other women at the last mile, like the vulnerable groups, the women and youth. So we've primarily focused on targeting the SMEs that have those challenges, and through the data that they're actually collecting on the Beyonic platform, we've seen that some of these women have actually been able to access credit. And so that's kind of where the collaboration aspect comes in, because we are supporting so many different sector organizations. It means that from a marketing perspective, one of the things that I do is to showcase all the different partners on the same platform. So I've had businesses that are using Beyonic that offer credit, and are then able to extend credit to some of these businesses that are offering other different services through the Beyonic platform. So yeah, we are providing them with a network. We are providing them with the sort of KYC management aspect. And we are also providing them with access to data that is then used for credit scoring, which they are in turn able to access.
Okay, thank you very much. And another question is, I don't know if in your country have any regulation to comply with.
Sure. So in Uganda, there is no necessarily FinTech regulator at the moment. We currently run all of that by the telcos. So we sort of are managed by the telcos. Any KYC or any restrictions are managed at that level. We have contracts with them. So even when we sign up these partners, we must account to the telcos. If for any instance there is a customer fraudulent aspect, we are accountable to the telco. So that's kind of how it's been managed at the moment. We are part of other FinTech bodies, like there's one called FITSPA, that currently sort of brings all the FinTechs in the market together. And through that body, we're able to kind of have a voice to the central bank and to the MNOs. And currently we're working on a national payments bill that is currently being developed by the central bank in Uganda. In Kenya, it's pretty much a different scenario. In Tanzania, in Rwanda, and in many of the other markets, where we actually must have a license from like the BOT and things like that. So it's kind of like a market by market situation. But I think at the core of all this is the partnerships with the telco. The telco will not partner with an aggregator that has challenges. And that being said, we've actually had to terminate contracts with customers who are perceived as fraudulent or sort of in the high risk, those different pyramid schemes and things like that. So we are regulated to that extent, and in other markets we actually have to get the respective licenses.
Okay, thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ernesto. I have Nadezhda with her hand raised. Nadezhda, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dayami. Doreen, congratulations to you and to Beyonic team. It is a great solution, and I have a number of questions. I don't understand that as to the financial inclusion concerns, the payment is a starting point to be included to the formal financial service. And my first question is, what do you think about other basic financial services such as savings and insurance? And my next question concerns that, bearing in mind that you cover a number of countries, do you maintain data privacy and data protection? Do you have a kind of code of conduct inside your company, how to maintain confidence? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I'll start with the last question. So we are basically aligned with we've aligned ourselves with the GDPR. Yeah, so we're basically following the standard regulations, industry and international standard regulations. And of course, with these different regulatory bodies, there are sort of customer protection laws that are already in place. We have a body locally in Uganda called NITAU, which is sort of like the National Internet Regulation Body. So all those have different codes of conduct around customer protection. And because we have oversight from the telcos, it means that we have to abide by those. So that's to say, yes, that we are actually following international standard guidelines, but also taking into consideration what is acceptable locally. To answer your second question, ultimately the way we have chosen to look at it is, one, we needed to find an angle outside the norm. Many of the telcos and other players in the market are speaking directly to the last mile consumer. But there are very many reasons why there is a slow uptake of some of those services to the last mile consumer, because in many cases, they don't have any way to put money in that digital wallet. And therefore, they're not able to save in any way. Therefore, their cash is stolen, or therefore they'll use that cash for the wrong purposes. The reason why we thought to go through the SME or the organizations model is because ultimately an organization is one initially putting money in your wallet. So they actually act as influencers in this journey to financial inclusion, because if my boss pays me my salary or my assistance or whatever that may be through mobile money onto a wallet, I will quickly register that account and receive my money on there. What the customer does after that is a very different discussion. The customer may opt to withdraw it and things like that. But ultimately, we have noticed that now that's kind of where the value addition comes in. That the more frequently that this person starts to collect money on their digital wallet, the more inclined they'll be to use it for something else. And in so doing, because we are sector agnostic, we're actually supporting partners who now come in to play the role of value addition. So you have partners like, let me say like Numida or World Cover, who are providing insurance for farmers. You have sort of bank partners like Absa Bank, who are providing other types of services. We have the PayG utility providers who are providing solar kits on credit. So having this sort of ecosystem around the businesses and helping them translate that to the last mile customer is kind of how we've chosen to support that process.
Thank you so much, Doreen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nadesta. I'll take two questions from the floor, then I will give Leah the floor for the last one. So quickly, Doreen, we have a number of questions, and I think you already answered some of them. So I'll just put together all the questions, and you can address them together. So one question from the audience basically is, how does your platform allow for different currencies? And we also have, if you do serve MSME clients, how do you differentiate your services across the different customer segments? And the last question basically is, how do you manage AML KFT issues when you onboard customers? And on that front, someone asked also that if you're currently not regulated by any regulator, how do you manage consumer protection and data privacy issues? So if you can just respond to this in 2 minutes, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure. So I'll start with how do we support multiple currencies? So we actually have accounts in many of these domestic countries. So when you sign up with us and say, I specifically would like to operate in Kenya, it means that we will help you create a Kenyan wallet. If you decide that you want to set up in Uganda, then we'll help you create a shilling wallet. So it's primarily dependent on where you want to set up. You can opt to say that you would like to transact across all the different markets. So we'll help you set up a wallet, a transaction wallet by currency. So we have for all the markets and including a dollar currency wallet. And that's available on the platform at the moment. The other question was around differentiation. Ultimately, every business wants the same thing. Businesses want quality support. They want trust. They want to know that when they make a payment, it will get to where it's supposed to go, to the right person, and things like that. So one of the things that we have done is actually start internally and assess what is it that we are promising our customers across the board. And that's kind of where all of that lies. The integrity, the customer support, the brand promise is very important to us. The second is that for every sector, we've assessed what the challenges are and what the needs are. So for example, the pay-G utilities space cannot be priced the same way we would price a betting company. So we've kind of defined what pricing should be from, let's say, medium to large enterprises. And for the smaller ones, we've tailored packages that actually would not break the bank for them, that would actually allow them to continue to prosper while allowing them access as many services as possible. So that's the other aspect. And then we continue to innovate. Ultimately, we want to be able to give people what they need. So we have partnerships, for example, with Salesforce. We have companies that are into distribution. So it means you can collect your mobile money through Beyonic and then have Salesforce help you with your distribution channel. So we have different aspects of that. It doesn't mean that when you sign up for Beyonic, you have to take the whole suite of products. We have products ranging all the way from just simple notifications. Let's say you are a DSTV and all you want is to receive confirmation, real-time confirmation that people have paid. We have a solution for that. If you are a pay-G company and your business model is not necessarily a subscription one, you receive small bits of money per day, then we have a pricing model for that. If you are an NGO and you have specific formats that you need your reconciliation reporting in and accountability, we have catered for that as well. Because if you're an NGO and you're in multiple markets with handling multiple projects, then we've actually set those features up on the system. So it really depends on what the need is. We've tried to make sure that the platform is as versatile as possible, and the team is passionate about what they do. So it means that the turnaround time will not be as slow as many. So again, it goes back to brand promise and us trying to make sure that we say and do what the customer expects of us.
Thank you so much, Doreen. I would like to apologize to Leah. I think we are running short of time now. So if we might, I would like to say a big thank you to Doreen, to the judges and to the audience for the questions. And thank you so much and congratulations, Doreen.